Yesterday was a crazy day in competitive Fortnite. We had Mongrel and Savage getting griefed by cheaters, we had Malibuca getting banned mid-tournament for hacking, and we have some clear favorite teams coming into FNCS. There's a lot to catch up on, let me fill you in. This is one of the last major tournaments before FNCS, so all eyes were on the big teams, and especially Mongrel and Savage. They've had a bit of a shaky start to competitive. Mongrel's come out of retirement, and a lot of people want to know, are they good enough to make grand finals? Unfortunately, yet again, they have missed out on making the Duo Cash Cup finals, now having only made one at the very start of the season. But it's not for the reasons you think. A lot of people saying Mongrel's washed, he's not grinding. That's not what happened. They had one of the most unlucky tournaments I have seen in a hot minute. I'm going to show you exactly how it ended and let Savage fill you in on what you may have missed.
Yeah,
that king.
Cheating, bro. Like, he's got 10 kills.
I'm done, bro. I knew it.
Oh my god, bro. How bad is this game? Oh, that's so annoying, man. So one game, get headshot snipe. One game, you crash. One game, I get logged out. One game, we die because we need to key because there's a cheater in our game. And then another game, there's another team that's cheating.
The fact they almost qualified was a super impressive performance, but there were a bunch of cheaters who made it into the finals anyway. I think there were about 5 or 6 different teams of cheaters that made it into the finals. A lot of them actually got banned after the first game, which I guess is better than not getting banned at all. I still really would rather Epic obviously ban them, you know, as soon as they start cheating in opens, but it's better than what they've been doing recently. But unfortunately, in amongst these bans, we also had Malibuca getting wrongfully banned. I don't know how many times Malibuca has been banned at this point. He has been banned, I think, at least 3 or 4 times, and each of the times he gets unbanned, they tell him, sorry, we didn't mean to ban you, and they give him V-Bucks. He got banned out of the finals of a tournament where he was guaranteed to make at least a couple $100 based on his placements, and he got banned and they gave him like 2,000 V-Bucks. Like, it's ridiculous at this point, but it looks like Epic is trying to do something about banning cheaters. I talked about this in my most recent video where I broke down the FNCS format, but if you're worried about all the cheaters and you think it's ruining the game, FNCS is going to be a nightmare. At least they won't be in the semifinals because there's now an 11-day bye, so there's just a break between the opens and the semifinals. That is what Epic has done to ban cheaters. I'm 99.9% sure of the fact the reason why Epic is adding this break to every single FNCS this season is so that they have a 10-day period where they can ban all the cheaters to make sure they don't get into semifinals. The problem is that means they're still going to be in opens. If this was opens of FNCS, Mongrel and Savage have just not qualified because they've died to cheaters twice. And obviously these high profile names are more of a target because they're streaming. So I'd really hope these cheaters don't ruin FNCS like they're currently ruining the Cash Cups. They won't be able to make it to the semis, but the damage can already be done in opens. Just in case Epic still hasn't fixed the Solo Victory Cup bug today, if you're trying to play some stag solos and you want to play the best and most fun Zone Wars map, check out my brand new map, Magical Zone Wars. It is the best and most unique Zone Wars map with 9 different scenarios to test all of your endgame skills and box fights in between rounds to make sure your mechanics stay warmed up. Despite all this, let's talk about some of the teams who did do well in this Cash Cup. We had Wheat and Smokey closing out in first on 290. This is a very underrated team on EU right now. You maybe haven't even heard too much about him. I hope you've heard about Smokey. He's one of the Asia players that came over with Swizzy, started dominating before they split, and then Swizzy went on to win FNCS. It looks like Smokey's pretty happy to prove that he wasn't the one letting the duo down, and he can also win an FNCS, looking really good at the moment. We had Ping and Mixon in second, Nebs and iDrop in third, 2 big names who've been a little bit quiet for a while now. Same with Marion and Paco, and then we had Nafrizzi and Howley. So again, not really the top 5 you were probably expecting. Some of the big names were missing. Obviously, like I said, Malibuca got banned midway through the tournament. Mongrel and Savage didn't make it, but we did have big teams like Veno and Tayson not even make it to the finals. And this has sparked a lot of rumors of Veno and Tayson potentially splitting up. Veno has talked multiple times in different public areas about how he is considering dropping Tayson because he's just not grinding. And it would be insane to see Tayson get dropped, but the results show for themselves. Veno and Tayson are not placing currently, and FNCS is in 5 days. Pink has been doing his best job to try to make Veno drop Tayson so he can play with him, but now that potentially is actually going to happen, I don't know whether Pink does want to drop Vico. They've been playing very well, actually winning the first game of the Duo Cash Cup final, so I'm not really sure what this means for some of the big EU teams. We could potentially see a really big snake inning in the next few days. Over on NA, we've had a very clear favorite for FNCS emerging. We had Reed and Rituals close out the tournament in first on 373 points. Now, if you missed my video, you weren't following, this duo actually split up a week ago. Rituals dropped Reet for Sphinx in one of the most questionable decisions I've ever seen a pro player make. This team came top 10 Copenhagen. They are looking insanely dominant. They got back together and they won the first duo Cash Cup since playing together again, and now they've won the second in a row. We've had some insane performances from duos like Peterbot and Poyo, but they didn't even make finals today. Same with Acorn and Cold. A lot of the other teams that are doing well can't really find that consistency in the opens to make it to the finals. Meanwhile, Rituals and Reed are looking fantastic coming into FNCS. We did have some more underrated teams in the top 5 though. We had Dequented and Statics coming out of nowhere in second place on 297. We had the Hispanic team of Zeus and Tony FV1. Now I'm happy to admit I've seen Zeus around the leaderboards. I've watched them a little bit before. I have never watched this Tony FV1 play before, and he pulled off the most ridiculous 1v2 to win one of the games today. I'll show you how he did it. 2v2. Let's see what Tony can do. Oh, 85. Wait a second. Oh, oh my God, he's Jesus. Oh my God, he's Hispanic Jesus. Oh my God. Wait, he's Hispanic Jesus. Tony's that guy. Oh my God, the 1v2. We had some other more familiar names. We had Zukis in Bolt in 4th. We had Noxy and Crisp in 5th. And we had Clicks and Epic Whale in 6th. Now, Clicks and Epic Whale had a bit of a shaky tournament. They are looking really good right now. Clicks is saying this is the most confident he has ever been. He thinks he is the best he has ever been in Fortnite. And honestly, watching him play Zone Wars, watching his mechanics right now, as well combined with his sniper aim, I think is going to be a winning condition coming into FNCS. Unfortunately, Clicks was on the receiving end of a lot of really good snipes today in the set lobby finals, which put them back, but they brought it back with an 8 elim win in their last game. We had Aviv and Booga close out in 7th as well. So we had a lot of the underrated players up there, but we were still having the big names in the top 10. That does it for another video. Check out Magical Zone Wars for the best and most fun Zone Wars you've ever played.